Hello and welcome to today's episode of Coffee and Keys. My name is Tamara Canty. I am your host. My co-host for today is Andy Gagliano of Gagliano Mortgage. Andy is actually celebrating 29 years in this industry, and that is an awesome feat, an awesome testament of perseverance. So, my question for Andy today, I'm asking Andy all the tough questions on behalf of all the home buyers out there in home buying land. So, this week's question for you, Andy, is how do you handle delays? You worked hard, you about to get to the closing table because nobody gets paid for the most part until we close. So, how do you handle delays?
So that's a good question. And there really are two types of delays. And sometimes the buyers and the real estate agents are not going to get the whole story about why these delays happened.
Mhm.
But there are the avoidable delays and there are the unavoidable delays. And what I mean by that is we all have to work together as a team, the mortgage company, the real estate agent, the buyer, the seller, the seller's agent, home inspector. Oh my goodness, you know
There's a lot of
the
people.
deal. A lot of people. We've all got to work together as a very good, cohesive team to get to closing on time. And one of the ways we do that is by getting for example, when the mortgage loan officer asks for documents from a buyer,
Mhm.
if that buyer can get us documents within 24 to 48 hours, that buyer has just taken the odds of there being a delay with their closing from being this great to being this great. And
Mhm.
then other things like ordering an appraisal quickly. Well, that's something we do. We want to order an appraisal just as soon as we get the word go to order an appraisal. And so things like that, I call those the avoidable delays by not delaying things that we know have to be done. Now, the unavoidable delays are things that come up that truly do come up last minute. For example, let's say that the buyer opens a new account 2 days before closing. And the day before closing, the underwriter repulls credit because the underwriters are required to do that.
Mhm.
And that new account shows up. Well, I guess that could have been avoidable because the buyer should not have opened that account, but they did.
Yeah.
And here we are. And so it really all boils down, whether it's avoidable or unavoidable, it all boils down to communication.
Mhm.
And just what I said, this is a team effort. We've all got to work together as a team to make it happen. The only way we can make it happen timely and smoothly is to communicate very, very well from beginning to end of the transaction.
Yeah. And that's such a great point, Andy. I would definitely agree with everything that you just said because it's no one ever wants to hear those dreaded words that either you're not going to be able to do it or you don't have what we call a clear to close. So thank you, Andy, for joining me again this week. I hope that that answers questions for some of you out there in coffee land. So until next time, thank you for watching, and we hope that you'll join us again.
Thanks, everybody.